What up, everybody? Welcome to Landover. Washington Commanders with a big statement win over the Las Vegas Raiders. Marcus Mariota was really good in this. Dan Quinn got blasted, was laughing about it afterwards. No stitches for a tough football guy like DQ. Welcome into Beltway Football. I'm JP Finlay. This is Mitch Tischler. We're brought to you by MGM National Harbor. The exact performance Washington needed.
What a rebound game. It was a get-right game all along. This Raiders team is not at the same level as the Commanders, and the Commanders did exactly what good football teams do. Put away bad teams and don't give them a chance to come back.
Well, and think about it. It got to be 10-10 with about 4 or 5 minutes left in the second, and everybody's like, oh, my God, because at that point, Mariota had fumbled, Matt Gay missed the kick, and it just seemed like, are they going to let them hang around? Yeah. And they didn't, thanks to big play after big play. Jeremy McNichols breaks the 60-yard touchdown run, makes it 17. Then you're able to get a kick from Matt Gay just before halftime to make it 20-10, and that was after Dan Quinn got run over. The big plays in this thing were the difference. The Debo kick return that set the tone early. The Jalen Lane punt return. I mean, just electric from the kid.
I'm going to pat myself on the back for a second. The ball was in the air on the Jalen Lane one. I tapped Ethan Cadu next to me, and I said, he's got a shot on this one. And lo and behold, he took it to the house. It was awesome.
If you're back patting off the break, should we points of Palooza here?
There's going to be a lot of back patting tonight, I think.
Is there? You called it. You said this is going to be a rock fight. Under.
No.
You called a rock fight under.
Yeah, listen, I am backpatting myself now. You have a lot of backpatting to go.
I am way more interested in I don't know, chop busting than I am in backpatting.
Okay.
I'm not a big backpatter, but maybe we'll get there.
The other little backpat, we talked about it during training camp. We talked about it this week that we were going to see more offensive linemen out there.
Sure.
I love the move to Wiley on the inside. I think it's important that
Coleman gets benched for Chris Paul.
Right, that was
and the O-line looked fantastic. And DQ just made clear. People were trying to act like there was a discipline issue. I think this is straight competition, and that's what happened.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I'm
BC. What is the discipline issue with that?
So that's the thing. Brandon Coleman is a great kid.
Do you still have a question about it? I think Dan Quinn just made it crystal clear.
He did. To me, I guess maybe more so my question is for the coaching staff. If you're making one of those guys inactive, I think Allegretti, but I guess Allegretti can play center, but I'd rather have BC out there than Allegretti right now.
Well, I mean, BC was on the injury report. Maybe it was a little bit. The offensive line was terrific. I mean, I don't know if it finished this way because Vegas had a late drive there, but in the fourth quarter, Washington had more return yards than Vegas had total offensive yardage. The return game was so good. Debo's been fantastic at it. And then Lane, I mean, just an absolute home run from him. Yeah, and then Luke had a couple good returns. Really happy to see Luke get his first career touchdown.
Yeah.
With Noah Brown out, lots of questions about, who's going to step up. Luke did.
You know what else is great? Right here, about 10 yards behind us, Terry McLaurin had a big play.
Totally.
We've been waiting for that one.
Totally.
It was great to see it happen.
You think he got in?
I think when you saw the replay, it looked like he dragged the knee early.
I kind of thought live he was down because the press box is right there. Like, this is the closest end zone for us to see. That's the Heineke pylon, if you're interested.
The Heineke Memorial
I guess the pylon's gone.
Yeah.
But, so is Heineke.
You know what?
Really glad to see Terry catch a deep one.
Yeah.
It was the exact defensively. The D line was fantastic.
Real quick before let's go, Marcus Mariota, man. We'll stay on offense just for a second. We saw bad backup quarterback play across the NFL today.
There were like 6 pick sixes thrown.
Yeah, and for Marcus Mariota to step out here, not going through training camp with the Achilles or heel whatever strain.
Achilles tendonitis.
Thank you. To go out there and play the way that he did.
You see the numbers. Awesome. I mean, really accurate. 200 through the air, touchdown. He did have the fumble. I mean, the fumble was just trying to make a play. He ran for 40 yards.
You love how he sticks his head in there.
Totally.
On all those runs, with Jaden, I want to root on him sliding more. I want to see him slide. That's not Marcus's game. He's a guy who put his body on the line.
Mariota's also huge.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize how big of a guy he is. And he has just this incredible, calmness. He has this sense. He has, a real gravitas about him. Like, when you're talking with Mariota, he not cut from the same cloth as Dan Quinn in the, intensity, arrive violently, but they have the same level of, human sincerity when you talk to them that is really hard to find. And like every time you're chatting with Mariota, it feels like he's really engaged and cares about. That's why, like when in postgame, I was like, he kept thanking his teammates and talking about how happy he was for McNichols, and I was like, what about you? You haven't had a start in 3 years, and you came out. And by the way, this is one of your former teams. You kicked their ass.
And we might see another former team next week.
I know, it's great.
But you talked about Marcus Mariota's personality. You have Jaden, who's like the most cool, calm, collected guy. Then you have DQ, who is wired to the hilt.
Sure.
And Mariota falls right in between there. All three of those guys are competitors through and through, but the way that they go about it are different ways.
So let's go to the podium then. Dan Quinn and the offensive players, Marcus Mariota. I mean, a lot of guys didn't.
This is Dan Quinn and Marcus Mariota here.
Okay, Dan Quinn and Marcus Mariota.
After last game, we spoke about complementary football and where we missed some opportunities on that. We had a op at one at the end of the half, didn't get it. Had one to come out for the second half, didn't get it. This week, we did not miss on those chances, and that's really important to pass the baton to the next group, The long return resulted in a touchdown. Punt return obviously was for a touchdown, but getting a stop, getting a drive to get the long field goal at the half, that's when we're at our best. And we work hard at that spot. And when you miss the mark, it stings like we did before. But I wanted to make sure we challenge ourselves to be aggressive and bold and take our chances when we could. That's who we are. And I thought the guys really delivered on that. This is a resilient group, so I wasn't surprised. But I was pleased to see us doing that, knowing that new faces, some different spots, but the attitude, the mindset of how we want to play ball, that would stay consistent. So all that said, let's get rocking with you guys.
How gratifying was it to have all three phases show up today after a tough week?
Yeah, and special teams was right at the start of it again. And I thought they've got a knack, and we're gaining on it. Having Jalen there on the punt return side, seeing Debo on the kick return side. I think what we saw maybe a week ago, Chick, was the covering side of punt, putting it down inside. And so we just missed some of those chances. And so when you can capitalize and win on field position, a long return, keeping them pinned back, those are winning football moments. And when you do it, the results, the story almost writes itself. And when you don't do it, you just keep putting yourself behind and you make it more difficult. So it was cool to see all guys leaning in on one another today.
And everybody who's –
First and foremost, just thankful and grateful for just an unbelievable group of guys. Belief is so powerful, and those guys from Monday were just, hey, you got this. And I think that instilled confidence in me to just go out there and just kind of play my game. But it was cool to see kind of all three phases come together, and it's a great stepping stone for us as we move forward in the season.
And what would happen if you took out your head coach? Would you almost...
I know, I felt so bad. I was trying to hold him up as much as I could, but he bounced up like a champ. So we're good. We're good.
Marcus, it was there was some mistakes early on in all phases. How did you guys kind of get tightened up and calm down and start to move the ball pretty well?
Yeah, I think first of all, we just didn't blink. We understand kind of there's going to be ebbs and flows in the game, and regardless of how those go, we never want to ride the roller coaster. And our team does a great job of just staying kind of at that same level all game, and knew that if we just executed a little more cleanly, that we could score some points and get some stops and do some good things on special teams.
On a human level, and I don't know that everybody always understands this, but like we do get to know these guys. On a human level, I'm so happy for Mariota to have that performance, get the win.
Absolutely.
He's way too classy to ever mention going against the Raiders, but I'm guessing somewhere in there that's pretty sweet.
He's probably happy just getting a win.
Sure,
I mean,
all of
starting
it.
a game,
All of it.
playing that
All of
way,
it.
and getting the win.
And that starts in 2022.
Yeah.
It's crazy, especially when you see some of these other dudes that are getting starts. that
Right.
you can't.
I mean, it was rough.
All right, I want to run through. We got a bunch of good comments via the chat. Jason DeGrassi says, "Why draft Genty when you can get Bill in the 7th?" I thought Genty looked pretty good today.
If Genty was running behind the Commander's offensive
Yeah.
line, it would have been a different ballgame.
I'm pro Bill.
That Raiders O-line, particularly in the run, is rough. But we saw them get 5 sacks, so they're bad in the in pass pro too.
Got one from Charles's dad. Next week's listener over/under DQ stitches at 1.5. DQ going back to Atlanta. Now he's been back plenty, but he might just run through a wall himself. He did not get stitches today, though. He clarified that.
He might just He might just go into Atlanta like with tape and the whole thing and play it all up.
David McKay, I think that might be Scottish David. with so many troubling injuries, does AP makes moves to strengthen the roster? There were a lot of injuries, especially to the DBs.
DBs, yeah. I mean, there were a lot of headshots in that game.
They
period.
they elevated a DB for this game. Like, will they make moves to strengthen the roster? Of course. They're trying to do that every day. It's also September 23rd or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that easy to make moves to strengthen the roster right now.
But the depth that they're going to need when they play against the Falcons look terrible today.
Yeah.
Michael Penix got benched for Kirk Cousins.
What if we get Kirk next week?
That would be a
DQ
wild
going back
turn.
to Atlanta to face Kirk. Raheem Morris on that side.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Mariota,
storylines.
if it is Mariota, I don't know. That's crazy. Last one for right now. Tanner Kirkpatrick. Extreme hot take that fans might not want to admit. Are they better with Mariota under center?
No. And no.
Nope.
It's great to have an awesome backup quarterback. There is zero quarterback controversy, as much as folks are joking about it.
Zero. All right, let's talk a little defense.
We started talking about the Raiders' ability to run the ball. Genty looks strong again, but that O-line is difficult. And we talked about the Commanders' O-line playing well. The Commanders' D-line played well. We talk about it all the time. You got to win in the trenches. And the Commanders did that today. This is Laramie Tunsil's family, for those that are watching.
Cool.
Was running around behind us. What's up, guys?
Very cool.
Big win for them. Laramie played great. But, yeah, this Commanders defense, I mean, that front four got after the quarterback as well as we've seen
5
front
sacks.
four
Did it
in
get
a
to
while.
6? I think it finished at 5.
I think it finished
But
at
there
5.
were a ton of pressures. I mean, Gino
Bobby
was
Wagner had 2. Javante Jean-Baptiste had 1. Dorrance Armstrong
Von
had
Miller.
1. And Von Miller.
Kinlaw was so funny afterwards in the locker room. I asked him about, all the sacks. He's like, man, the whole guys still got it. They got the juice. And then it was a cool moment. So we talked to Dorrance for a while in his locker, and then at the end, Javante was there, and I was like, Javante, you got a minute? And all the vets were like, oh, JJB's turn, and they were just happy for him. I was like, dude, you get a sack. We got to come over and talk to you.
And you know what? Considering that they're dealing with the Dietrich Wise injury and trying to figure out how to replace it, Preston Smith is in the wings, getting accustomed to what the Commanders are doing defensively. It's nice to see JJB step up.
All right, let's hear from the defensive players here because they had a lot to be happy about in this game.
Hey, Javon, talk about this performance from this whole team. Defensive front got after them, didn't give anything up, running game, but this whole team really performed on a high level, bounce back game.
Shoot, God is good first and foremost, and that's just what happens when it's a collective group effort, man. Everybody was firing on all cylinders, and that's what it looked like. That's what it's supposed to look like.
After last week, you guys made a pointed effort of being better, and all 3 phases seemed to work today. You got help from everybody.
Yeah, I think it sucks to lose a game like that on a Thursday because then you have so much time to sit and think about it. But, you go back to the drawing board. That's not the team that we want to be. That's not the team that we are. And you just try to correct those mistakes, be accountable of all the things that happen, and try not to make them happen again.
That Green Bay game, I mean, honestly, the defense didn't play that poorly in Green Bay. They gave up too many big plays. We did see some big plays today. But after that Green Bay game, this team needed that performance. And I didn't want to get to this early, but we got to play the players and DQ reacting to him getting blasted because the commentary, now that everybody knows everything is okay, the commentary is hysterical.
It's hysterical, and that was kind of a galvanizing moment for these
Totally.
guys. Hearing these guys in the locker room talk about it.
BMF.
Yeah, he's a gangster. That was Javon Kinlaw. Let's hear the guy. Let's hear DQ, Mariota, and the rest of the players in the locker room talking about this.
Did you know that it was DQ and that he went down pretty hard?
I realized it as I was getting pushed, and I was trying my best to hold him up as I could. And like I said, he went into the training room and just got bandaged up and was like, all right, let's keep going. And I think that's what really kind of got the guys going in the second half.
When you see your head coach get knocked down, bloodied in the face, what are you thinking?
He a dog, bro. He jumped up like it was. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna ride for him like that.
When you see something like that, how does that maybe rally the team?
Exactly, bro. We're gonna ride for like that. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna amp us up. That's gonna make us go even harder. You know what I mean? Love Coach DQ, man. He a real gangster.
Like that. How can something like that maybe rally a team, motivate a team?
I think he popped up pretty quick, so I don't know if it was much of a distraction at all. I think he did a good job handling it. I really didn't see it. I ain't really see when he fell down, but I seen like he had blood on his nose, and like he tough, so like he was all right.
Man, I think it just represents who he is, to be honest. Like he talks about it all the time. Just his mentality, and it's literally like a if you get knocked down, get back up and keep going. Like he literally did that. His nose is bleeding, everything just bleeding, had a cut. And he stayed there, locked in, and, got some treatment at halftime and came back out. So it was cool to see.
We made the kick and came in, and then we went out and started it again. But, we all had a good laugh about it for sure.
What did that feel like?
Yeah, probably like you'd expect. And, it's this kind of part like, don't want it to happen, but it was all good.
Getting stitches?
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
You handling that thing like it was nothing. Just one of those funny moments, and because everything's okay, everybody's able to kind of laugh about it. And you can tell DQ wants nothing to do with like this continuing to be a story. Sorry, Coach. It's going to be all over the internet for a week.
It's too funny. It's too funny to see.
Speaking of the internet,
real quick,
there's no. The internet is demanding something from you.
It is. We see you in the chat. You guys want the holy potatoes. This was a great game. This wasn't a holy potatoes game. It's got to be an organic thing. It's got to come at the right time. Be the right kind of game.
Like, obviously, because of the explosive performances, the punt return, the kick return, the McNichols run, Luke scoring his first career touchdown, like, there's a lot to be excited about. But you were also supposed to win this thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
even with Mariota.
Yeah. Yeah, like, they were still favored with Mariota. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm okay with it not being
listen, there's going to be holy potatoes games this year, knock on wood. This one wasn't it.
I think
I want to go back to DQ real quick for
sure.
one second. Kyle Brandt, Good Morning Football, does his angry runs every week.
Yeah.
In week 1, it was Cam Scadaboo running over Trey Amos.
Which is kind of lame, dude. Like, the Giants got smoked in that game. It should be something that matters.
Week 2, it was Jordan Love running over Trey Amos.
Yeah.
Does Mariota get it this week for running over DQ?
That'd
be really funny. 3 weeks in a row for the Commanders. Anyway, listen, going back to the offense.
He got shoved. I don't know that's an angry run.
He got shoved, but he hit DQ pretty hard.
Trucked him.
I mean, that thing. Going back to the offense, though, it was great to see Chris
Offensive
Rodriguez.
line, super impressive.
Yes. Great to see Chris Rodriguez active and get the first carries in the game. It was really, not that the numbers, met it out to some big thing for him, but good to see him get a little action earlier in the season. I thought the running backs...
His first action of the year, and he got the carries
really
early.
Good job, yeah.
Dude, that first drive after Debo breaks the long kick return...
Got to be a touchdown, though.
They scored 6 plays later, but it was all runs.
My fantasy team wanted Debo to get in the end zone.
That I believe. It was like Cliff was responding to last week, or they just identified, we can beat Vegas on the ground. They make some changes offensively. You get Chris Paul in, Wiley in, and then they're bringing extra offensive linemen. You and DA were screaming for a Trent Scott touchdown. This isn't the game you break it out, dude. I save it. They were up like 4 scores. You guys were yelling for it.
Yeah,
it was down here.
Let the big man celebrate.
Save it. But I thought
Josh Connerly took a lot of heat for the first 2 weeks. Max Crosby is amongst the best pass rushers in the game. Connerly did a really good job today. He had some help, certainly. They definitely identified it. But when they left him one-on-one with Max, I think there was only one play. I'll be interested to see what the numbers come out to, but I believe
Crosby had one sack. That's the only sack they had in the game.
Right. I believe that was the only one that Coleman really got beat on badly. Connerly, I'm sorry. It was a good showing for him.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when your offensive line, now granted, this is going to be a little bit skewed because if you're looking for a table update, the fact that I'm way over here clearly gives you.
We have a table here.
Then move it. Can we not just have it here?
We can. Here's the table, folks.
This doesn't count as a table. We've had this same thing.
This is what we always had. This is what you were yelling about. No?
This one is more sturdy. I wasn't bringing it up.
Yeah, it was simmering, though.
201 rush yards. They averaged 6 yards per carry on the ground.
Yeah.
Now, is that driven up by McNichols breaking a 60-yarder? Yes. But even if you net that out, it'd still be 140 on 31 carries, which is like right at 4.
Mariota had the 30-yarder also. I like that they started getting Debo into the run game. That was the one thing that I thought
Bill got involved.
I thought Debo getting the ball in the run game was missing in Green Bay. We didn't see it at all. I like seeing them get a little
3 carries for 18 yards.
Yeah.
Dude, Debo's a really good player and is like completely shutting up the like Debo's fat crowd. Debo's out of shape crowd. Like,
I thought Cliff Kingsbury called a really good game.
So do I.
He got creative again. We saw some of the false pulling from the guards and tackles that we saw a lot last year.
They ran that little. It was interesting because they gave Crosby a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And it was Bill in the backfield, shotgun formation with Jaden, and it looked like Crosby was going to tee off. And then they just ran last second like a little slip screen to Bill. Mariota hit him. He was able to turn it upfield. Like sometimes let a dude like Crosby's motor work against him.
Well, that's what
like, dude, go for it. We're going to get rid of the ball.
That's what I was getting to. On the Mariota 30-yard run, you had Connerly and you had Wiley both pulled to the left, and the play was run back to the right. Crosby dashed down the line, and Mariota was able to pull it and go for 30 yards. Granted, he fumbled at the end, which kind of stunk, but like at the end of the day, it was.
Yo, the big fella, 99, Thomas Booker on the Raiders. It's a game. His effort to chase down Mariota. The guy's listed at 6'3", 3 bills.
Yeah.
And he hit Mariota 30 yards down the field.
It's like Haloti Ngata chasing down RG3 on that play.
Won't bring that up.
Well, it's just another big man running.
PTSD. All right, you want to do offensive sound, then we got game balls, then we got stuff?
Let's hear from some of the guys on offense talking about today's game.
Give me what you saw as you took off down the field.
Man, first out, just glory to God. But it's really just my teammates, man. They, they worked their tails off, blocking for me, speaking life into me, and they give me all the confidence in the world back there. And all I told them, I just need one lane, and I'll make the rest happen. And that's what they did for me.
Last time you returned something for a touchdown?
Last season. Yeah.
It meant a lot to us, after losing a game the whole week, like you ready to get back on the field and prove like you better than what you put on tape last week. So like it was good to see everybody just go out there and execute and have fun at the same time.
Kind of adding on to Donna's question, when Jaden goes down, it seems like everybody in this locker room knew they had to step up. How do you feel about everybody stepping up all over the roster and making plays today?
Man, it was good. Like we all pros, like we all good at our jobs, and shout out to Marcus, like everybody know like he's a pro and like how he carries himself. Like he been like doing this a long time, and like we just had like 100% faith in him. And like
we definitely got the run game going early, and just stay on it. I think the run game opens up a lot in regards of being an offensive unit that can be versatile like we can be in all the pieces, and I think it showed today for sure. Obviously there's always little things we're gonna have to clean up on too, and that's why not gonna say too much, but we're gonna watch the film and get corrections tomorrow. But no, obviously like the run game stat and how many yards we had, definitely got the run game going for sure.
They talk about just the performance of this offense, this team as a whole. What did you see today from everybody?
Yeah, I saw the team, which was a lot of fun, on every single unit, whether it was defense, special teams, or offense. A lot of guys flying around and a lot of guys exuding love for the game.
And you finish off with your 42-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Grateful for that. Just fun to be a part of those plays all the time.
So what is that feeling like, knowing that you've propelled your squad with that kind of run?
Oh, it's great, just being able to make a play for the team and working all week and coming off a tough loss. And that's what we talked about right after that loss. We took some time away, and once we came back to work on Monday, we knew what needed to be done. We knew we needed to, some sparks in the room, and I think that's what happened today.
We're back, Beltway Football live at Northwest Stadium. We're brought to you by MGM National Harbor. We love it over there. You will, too. In a few minutes, we're going to get to Game Balls and Goats. That's brought to you by Oarsman Automotive of Virginia. But I got notes, big man. I'd like to run through them.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we've already hit on, some of it we haven't. I loved how much they used 13 personnel, especially early in this game. You lose John Bates. Oh, how are we going to overcome it? Put 3 tight ends out there.
And Ben Sennett looked pretty good today.
Yeah, dude, I thought so too.
Not necessarily offensively making plays, but he filled that John Bates role pretty well. There were a couple plays where he had some pretty key blocks on the outside, and it was good to see him get physical because that's not something that we've seen a whole lot from him over the 2 years he's been here.
I wrote a note of this. 17 minutes into this game, so like the 13-minute mark of the second quarter, Commanders were over 100 yards rushing.
The McNichols 60 helps there, but. That was right before the 60. Yeah.
Yeah, that
right.
hadn't hit.
Yeah.
Also, just the amount of like different formations they were throwing out early, I think really helped. I was really impressed by that.
Well, I think we mentioned Trent Scott quickly, but I think having Trent Scott as your
Versatile.
eligible tight end, eligible lineman, I thought was big because they needed more bodies on that O-line. I think, hindsight's 2020, but I think when you go back and look at what the Packers did with their D-line and how they got after Jaden, it would have been great to see another big body out there, particularly after that Bates injury. I think this is something that, as Bates works back from his injury, that we're going to see more of because it worked really well, and I think it's something that they can use as they move forward.
I like your tie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
We talked about the Brandon Coleman thing. I have a concern. And this might be a pin for a later conversation because we're in euphoric mode.
Pin me.
Green Bay showed to get the Washington DBs running across the field. And the DBs tend to not have the speed to run across the field. And so then what do? You kind of cheat your way outside, and then the middle of the field is exploited. I think this Raiders team just wasn't that good, but when they did have success, it was the kid Trey Tucker. I mean, I think he went 8 for 150 with 3 touchdowns. And he was wide open on the first drive, and Geno didn't hit him.
And wide open on the touchdown here. Yeah.
What he does is crossers and then catch you on a seam. And Green Bay is good enough to really exploit it. I don't think Vegas is. We got to put a pin in that defensively because especially with all the DBs that went down today, there's a concern.
Well, as you talk about that, you also have the Tucker Craft.
The linebackers trying to run.
The Tucker Craft 52-yarder on Thursday, and then the Tucker Craft touchdown were both out of similar formations. And you saw the Raiders come out. The first play that they hit to Jacoby Myers was the same thing.
Dude, they ran the boot to him, and he just ran the whole length of the field from the opposite side.
The whole secondary got sucked up on that play.
So I have the Jacoby Myers thing written down, and then I added to it later. But what really impressed me, Will Harris made a great play at the goal line on what should have, that was right here.
Yeah.
It looked like a clear touchdown to Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers, yeah.
Geno threw it well. Bowers was there. Harris made a hell of a play on that.
Yeah.
Harris later gets injured.
Which is unfortunate. He seemed to walk off okay, so hopefully it's nothing major.
Last thing, and then we can do game balls.
Real quick on that Brock Bowers play.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Brock play, full games here and there, but he didn't look like the dominant tight end that we've seen. I think that knee is a little banged up, and I think on that play in particular that happened right here at the helmet, he didn't really get up to get the ball.
Agreed.
And with Will Harris, he didn't turn around on it. We talk about all the times when receivers show their hands early.
Yeah.
It gives a DB a chance to bat the ball away, and I think that was one where we saw Brock show his hands a little bit early, gave Will a little bit of a chance, knowing that the ball was coming. He was able to break it up.
Somebody's whistling very loudly.
Yes.
I can't tell if they're whistling for us or for DJ. Maybe they want DJ to take his shirt off. I don't know.
You know what?
It's a lot of people.
You
are
like my
celebrating
tie?
here.
I like this jacket. I think they just like the way we look.
Shout out
today.
to Collars and Co. Just
go.
got some fresh gear. All right, last thing before we get to all the fun stuff, but the end of the first half. They get bailed out because Gay makes the big kick there, and then the amount of emotions and energy after DQ gets trucked and is bleeding out of his head. I don't think there's any way Gay could have missed that. You know what I mean?
Well, he did. They got bailed out because the Raiders called a timeout because he missed the first one to the left.
But it's also the third straight week where Washington is in trouble at the end of the half. That time because they didn't have any timeouts, so they had to let Vegas got to run a lot of clock before they finally called their last one because they lost a timeout on what I think was kind of a bad challenge to get a 6-yard gain.
Right.
I feel like the clock management game is not tight. You'd like it to be tight.
I agree. The one thing I'll say about Matt Gay, can't be missing 37-yard field goals. Can't be 1 for 4. He was 1 for 4 at the time on the season. You look at the Falcons. They cut Young Ho Koo, and they bring in the Romo kid, and he misses 2 field goals early in that game against the Panthers. Neither of them were particularly close. And we've seen here in Washington, kickers come, struggle, get let go, and go on to be good elsewhere.
DQ said tonight, he's like, we remain confident in Matt. I know you guys, he said something like, you guys might not see it, but we're confident in Matt. I think you just ride this out
he has a little bit more of a leash here.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to throw him away, but
all right, so let's I'm with you. I wouldn't hate some competition. If they decide they're bringing people in this week, I'm not.
But what does competition do for you on a Wednesday? You see a guy kick for a day or two. You think that's enough to decide what's going to happen. Oh my God, I got another landed fly. these,
where is
it just climbed down my collar.
Is it in your shirt? It
just flew off.
Is it in your person?
It crawled down the back of my neck again. These lantern flies are not my people. Inside of you.
I don't know if we're allowed to sing that, dude.
Well, we just did.
All right, let's get to Game Balls and Goats, brought to you by Oarsman Automotive of Virginia. We ride with them. Want you to do the exact same thing. I will start. Deebo Samuel, really good game. Set the tone with that opening kick return. Deebo's a super physical player, and Washington is, he finishes with 3 carries for 18 yards, 2 catches for 11, and the big kick return. He set the tone on the first play.
Absolutely. I'm going to go Marcus Mariota.
Sure.
I know he had the fumble.
Oh, but dude.
But plays of aggression, I'm not nearly as frustrated with, and certainly when you go out and win by 17, it makes it a lot easier to excuse it. But Mariota came out, executed the offense. He moved the ball down the field. He threw the ball, didn't put it in peril. He had made a bunch of good throws.
Yeah.
I really like the way that they worked Terry into the offense today. A lot more early, shorter plays. I feel like the first 2 weeks they had him running go routes far too often. It was a little bit obvious what he was going to do. They weren't able to get him the ball downfield. They ran a couple of those short ones, and then Mariota was able to hit him for the big one at the end of the game.
Agree with you. Mariota definitely deserves one. I already mentioned Will Harris. Jeremy McNichols. Will Harris got a game ball for me. Jeremy McNichols just for the 60-yard touchdown run.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
Luke McCaffrey gets one.
Yep.
First touchdown.
Yep.
There's been a lot of consternation about Luke and about last year's draft class and some of those players. Obviously, Brandon Coleman being down is one thing, but you did see Luke score a touchdown. Then you had 2 draftees from this year. You had Bill and Jalen Lane score.
Jalen Lane's my next
go for it.
Game ball.
Yeah.
90-yard punt return is enough. He had 1 catch late that was a little minus yardage, but Lane's electricity in the punt return game is another element. And when you are a team that considers yourself a real contender, you need as many different elements as you have, and he provides one for sure.
Bill Merritt gets one for me.
Sure.
In the middle of that game, he got into a little bit of a rhythm where he was able to use some of that, foot in the ground, get upfield speed, and carried some Raiders defenders there. He got in at the goal line, which is great to see him get a touchdown there. Bill.
Yeah, I have everybody that got a sack. We can go through them specifically, but Bobby Wagner.
2.
Two.
Bobby Wagner times 2.
Von Miller was explosive.
Yeah.
How about the first Wagner sack when it just took a while to get Geno down?
Geno, how does Geno not throw the ball somewhere during that? It felt like forever that Bobby had him by the ankles.
I thought Dorrance was great in this game. I thought Dorrance
has been great this season.
He had the 1 sack, but had a really good game. Happy for Javonte Jean-Baptiste. That's all 5 of the sack guys there. I think they all deserve it. My last one, Dan Quinn. Dude got rocked. And maybe it's a good thing there's no concussion protocol for coaches, but he got rocked. Never missed a beat. From everything we heard inside there, it really, really rallied this team. So DQ gets one.
I was going to say Cliff Kingsbury gets one. I thought it was a creative game plan today, particularly coming off of last week against the Packers. I liked what we saw. I liked the changes that DQ and Cliff made along the offensive line to counteract some of the things that they were struggling with the first 2 games. I thought Cliff was spectacular today.
Goats, or at least can kicks. Unless you have more.
Matt Gay?
It's at least a can kick. But
it's a goat. No, it's a full goat. A 37-yard field goal has to be.
And he had a kickoff out of bounds.
Yeah.
So I'm good with that.
And after they scored the touchdown on the Jalen Lane one with the Raider running out of bounds, they took the penalty to get the ball half the distance.
Mariota had a fumble.
Yeah,
but can kick.
No, you got a game ball. Well, you can't get both a game ball and a can kick, can he? We kind of make up the rules.
These rules are kind of fly by night.
Yeah, they really are.
The Raiders, Pete Carroll, everybody involved. It's so lame to try to slow the game down when you know Washington's a tempo team with the substitution BS. And the ref, shout out to the ref.
That's where I was about to go.
Said, the Raiders have been warned that they. Well, I don't remember it now.
They need to be more speedy.
An attempt to be more rapid.
Yeah, more rapid. That was the word.
Hurry the hell up. You're clearly trying to slow the game down. We know what you're doing. We're on to you.
But that's something that teams have been doing around the NFL, and it was a point of emphasis this offseason to all the teams that they were going to start calling them out on the substitution rules. That happened to the Commanders last year a fair amount, where they'd be trying to run
because they run tempo.
Right, but then you'd have teams,
It's not even hurry up. It's just a little bit faster.
Right. At least they weren't faking injuries.
Yeah.
We see that in college far too often. It doesn't really happen
step.
in the NFL, but sure.
Also, GOAT to the Rams for not beating the Eagles. I mean, we don't need to get into it, but
and not covering.
What a just disappointing result. Looked like Washington was going to be back in a tie for first there. My last one, I hate that grounding call on Mariota late in this game.
Yeah.
Lane breaks in instead of out. Marcus throws it to the corner thinking he's breaking out. That's not grounding. It's a
miscommunication.
That's not grounding. It is not at all consistent with the letter of that rule, or more importantly, the vision of that rule. What that rule is supposed to do and enforce was not that play. I hated that. That's me. All my notes. Everything.
My only other one goes to the Raiders and some of the Raiders in some regard. Jeremy Chin, maybe. There are a lot of shots to the head today. Debo took two big shots.
Yeah, and
both
the ref
were
said something like, "Oh, he's defenseless because he's not a ball." Like the ref gave it, or no, it was a broadcast. I haven't heard it, but somebody said the broadcast had a terrible explanation.
It was the one on the sideline to Debo that Jeremy Chin drove him into the Commanders' bench. It was just an unnecessary hit. It was up high. It's everything the NFL wants to legislate out.
It was in college. You probably tossed
twice.
Yeah.
You obviously had Marshawn Lattimore is being looked at for concussion.
Yeah.
I mean, he took a couple headshots. Listen, the injury thing is starting to become a real thing.
But that happens. I mean,
sure,
it happens to good
absolutely.
teams.
It's early in the season, though,
Right.
for it to be stacking up this way.
Agree with that. Let's get to the stuff.
Let's get to the stuff.
Brought
to you by BetMGM and Tap Sports Bar.
Shout out to Tap Sports Bar.
Best chicken nuggets in the land.
Coming for those tater tots.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what was phenomenal there? No lie. I had never gotten this.
You got a steak or something?
No. Bees ordered the catfish fingers. And, dude, I don't eat a ton of catfish or fingers, but the catfish fingers were outrageously good.
So you're opposite of Jameis Winston.
Correct. Okay. I'm telling you, if you're going to Tapped, get the catfish. It was banging. That is a unpaid endorsement.
There you go. We can get to the stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to pat JP on the back.
Did it go? It was one-sided?
It was a full-on.
I know I had them to cover.
It was a full-on beating.
I liked them to cover all week.
It was a full-on bleep beating.
Was it?
Yeah. We can. The over-unders, we had 220.5 as the number for passing yards. Mariota had 207. I was over. You were under. We had 85.5 for the rushing yards for the running backs. You were over. I was under.
Hell, McNichols almost got it.
Right, by himself. And then the last one, we did return yards, which Debo cashed on the opening kickoff.
Okay.
You went over. I went under.
3-0
awesome. Sweep for you.
Bang.
You have 1.5 points on the day.
Bang.
Or on the season.
Okay.
100 chips now. You were at -10. You had the Commanders -3. They covered. You're at +90.
It was never a doubter.
Yeah. Oh, it's 10-10 middle of second quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny, the Raiders were up 7-3. I mean, the Commanders were up 7-3. JP walks by me in the press box. He goes, "Points of Palooza." And then there proceeds to be turnover, missed field goal, turnover, punt.
Yeah.
And I said to JP, and maybe this was my fault, I was like, "Hey, how's that Points of Palooza looking?"
Well,
I turned the juju back around.
Cashed.
Yep. I had a parlay of the Commanders -3 and under. And that
but to
clearly
your
didn't
point
hit me.
now, I have now won. I think I'm 2-1 on my 100 chips on the season, but just can't build anything up. Whereas if you're just going to keep swinging with these crazy parlays, you need one to hit.
Listen,
especially like next week when you'll be able to throw way more props at it or whatever.
I'm shooting my shot.
Here's the rule, since we just make rules up all the time, and maybe this already is a rule. It's a 3 parlay max.
We never do more than that.
Okay,
it's always a 3
leg
parlay max. We broke it up. Or remember, we were doing like 10 chips on this, 30 chips on that. Was ridiculous. 3-team parlay is the biggest we'll do. That's most likely 6-1 is about as good as it can get.
We done?
So I'm at -300 on the season. Ooh. Benji bet is the last thing, which JP.
I had it over. I had like 27.
You had 27-20. I think I had 23-13, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, we both didn't hit it, so no.
As we get like new viewers on YouTube or whatever, do you think people understand what like goats and Benji bet and all this stuff means?
You want to explain it again?
So goats is the old school term. Like if you were the goat, you were like the dumbass of the game. It's that version, right? And should I not say that?
No, yeah.
We're on YouTube. We're not on TV.
Listen, they listened to Javon Kinlaw and the rest of those guys talk about the DQ, and there were plenty of expletives being thrown around.
Forgive me if that's a legit one, left hand up. I thought I was allowed to say that. I think I'm allowed to say that on radio.
You're allowed to say it on streaming too.
Benji Bet is the only person that's ever won this is Pete, who's now on Thursday Night Football.
Right.
But Benji Bet is if you guess the exact score to the point, you owe $100.
Yeah.
And I got twice last year one of the two scores, and Mitch did not give me $50.
No.
I'm just saying.
You want a participation trophy?
Sometimes.
You're not really a participation trophy kind of guy.
I kind of am not. But,
yeah, not kind of. You're very much not.
But I am a $50 guy.
Sure, I want $50 too, but I'm not giving you a participation trophy.
Let's get out of here. Daryl's tired. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Check us out on the YouTube. Good game. We'll be in Atlanta next week doing the same thing. You made it this far. Mitch owes you $50.